Hello, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Today I'm going to be sharing some books that I have bought recently. And just like with my past book haul, all of these books are from my own purchases. I'm pretty selective in what books I decide to purchase because I have a very curated collection and a very not vast bank account. I really only buy books that I think I'm going to love or that I've already read and already know that I love. However, most of the books on this list I have not read yet, and so I'm going to try to tell you some things about them, but since I haven't read them, I don't know how accurate my descriptions will be. First, we have The Boy Who Steals Houses by C.G. Drews. You may know this author best as Paper Fury by her very good blog and tweets and bookstagram. I have followed Kate for so long. I have followed Kate since she started her blog, her Paper Fury blog, because when I first started following her, she was still like Notebook Sisters. And so I got to see her write this book, like not in person, she doesn't even know who I am, but I got to follow along whenever she was writing this book for NaNoWriMo several years ago, and like to see that whole process and to see it be turned into a book is really cool. I have read her first novel, 1,000 Perfect Notes, and this one is very similar to Your Lie in April. The plot is similar. So I have read this and I'm very much looking forward to getting to her second one. I love this cover. I think it's beautiful. I purchased these from Book Depository. They ship free to the US if you're in the US. She is an Australian author and I'm just so proud of her. So I'm very much looking forward to getting to this. The second YA book I purchased was Elatsoe by Darcie Little Badger, and I found this book through Books and Lala here on YouTube, and this was in her top books of 2020, and just to hear her talk about this book, I knew I had to have it. First of all, it's beautiful. Like the design of the book itself is beautiful. The cover on the inside, let me just show you. It has like these wolves, and the chapters have like little illustrations at the beginning, kind of like the Harry Potter books. I wanted it first off because it was beautiful, but also the concept is really interesting. It's a paranormal, I think it might be like an alternate universe where the magic and legends of indigenous people and other people too are a reality, and the main character is able to raise the ghosts of dead animals, and this is like a skill that's been passed down through her tribe. She can raise the ghosts of dead animals, a skill passed down through generations of her Lipan Apache family. Okay, so I think that's really cool, and I've never read a book like this, and I don't normally like magical realism, but the way that she was describing this book, it just seemed really, really interesting. And she's also dealing with grief because I believe the main character's brother has just been murdered. Okay, it doesn't say on the dust jacket. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this year. So the next two books I bought are adult books. The first one is The Midnight Library, and I have already read this. I talked about it in my last video, my January wrap up. I also talk about this. In fact, I read this almost in real time in my 48-hour reading vlog I did in January. If you're interested to hear my thoughts as I read it, I recommend checking that out. I ended up not liking this very much, and I really thought that it would be a 5-star read for me because the concept just like really spoke to me. It's about a woman who tries to kill herself, and when she wakes up, she's in a library of books of her life basically, and she gets to choose like which would be her ideal life based on her like decisions, and I just didn't click with the messages very much. I thought it was kind of problematic, so I just didn't love this one, but it was a short read, and so if you're interested in it, I know it's very popular, a lot of people like it, so even though it didn't work for me, it might still work for you. The other adult book I bought was The Vanishing Half by Bennett, and this book has been super popular in the past year. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I believe, again, I have not read it. It's about two twins who have grown up in a Southern Black community. I think it's about their adult lives. One of the twins grows up to live in the same Southern Black community, whereas the other one can pass as white and goes on and like has a white husband and children and everything. And I think it's about how their lives are connected but also different. Again, that's all I know about it. I'm so excited to read this and to like get on the hype train, because I know this was in so many like top books of 2020 lists, and I just have to read it. So if you've read this, let me know if you like it, and if I did a really bad job at describing it, please let me know in the comments. And I think this author also has some other books, popular books out, so I might look into those too if I like this one. So okay, now sci-fi. So if you have watched, I think, my fall books video and also my like favorite books of all time video, I talk about I Am Legend a lot, and I had this like really beat up paperback copy. It was a mass market paperback with Will Smith on the cover, and it just like there was nothing wrong with it. It just didn't capture what I wanted in the book, and so I did buy a hardback copy. I did not know it would be this tiny, but it's kind of cute. I think it is like the same size of a mass market paperback, but it's actually like hardcover, and it has the more traditional I Am Legend cover on it with vampires. I want to start off by saying that I really love the I Am Legend movie. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's a great time, but also a very sad time. It is very different from the book, and the book is actually a novella. It is less than 200 pages. You can get through it really quickly. The book is one of my favorite stories of all time. It is so deep with emotion. Like, it's not as action-packed as the movie, but it's much more about his isolation, his loneliness, his grief. It is so heartbreaking. Yeah, I've read it multiple times. I just wanted a nicer copy, so I did get this hardback copy from Amazon. Okay, the next sci-fi book, I got a different copy of Dune. If you saw my wrap-up, you'll have seen this copy. So my husband is reading my other hardback copy that I got, which is totally beautiful, and I love it. But he was worried about like getting fingerprints on it, because that copy doesn't have a dust jacket. He knows I like to take like pictures of my books a lot on Bookstagram. By the way, if you're not following me on Bookstagram, I have a Bookstagram. I'm not going to force you to follow me, but if you're interested in seeing, like, I'm an outdoor Bookstagrammer, so if you're interested in seeing books and nature, feel free to follow me there. Anyway, so I like to take a lot of pictures of books. I decided to buy a second copy and told him that I would keep the prettier copy for my collection. I just kind of bought this one. It was actually cheaper, I think, than the copy I had, and it is so beautiful. The inside says, "Fear is the mind killer." I don't know if you can see that. And then the dust jacket on the inside is so beautiful. Like here, I just can't. It's such a beautiful copy. Even if I end up not liking Dune, I will probably just have this book on display my entire life, because it is like the prettiest book I've ever seen. And then I also got a physical copy of The Left Hand of Darkness. This is the same Penguin Galaxy edition as my other copy of Dune. So I got this before this copy of Dune because I wanted them to match. But anyway, this is a sci-fi classic. I really don't know much about it, but I have the audiobook, and I was worried that trying to just listen to it without like the words on the page that I would get lost. So I wanted a physical copy, and it's not very long, and I really like this blue color. So if you've read this or any other classic sci-fi, let me know, because I've been enjoying sci-fi, but I haven't read much from the genre, and especially like classic sci-fi, I would really like to dive deeper into that. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. Are you ready for the most exciting part? Star Wars. So if you've been following me this year, you'll know that I am like super into Star Wars right now. I'm a recurring host on a Star Wars podcast, and we've been having a great time. And all of my co-hosts are super like knowledgeable of the Star Wars canon, and they speak so highly of the novels. So I have decided that I want to read more from Star Wars. So first off, I bought the novelizations of all three prequels. This is a paperback binding of all three. I have read the one for Revenge of the Sith. It is like the best Star Wars novel I've read, and it's just like a good novel in general. I highly, highly recommend it. And I love the prequels. Like, that time in Star Wars is my favorite. That setting, I love everything about it. Seeing the Jedi in action, seeing Anakin's fall to the dark side, and also like seeing Palpatine's like evil scheme and how he got to where he was. He was like so incredibly patient and just like an evil genius. I also just love the clones, which if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know. So I decided just to get this bind up and read the novelizations for 2 and 3, and I will also probably reread Revenge of the Sith 2. Now, I believe that this is no longer canon, but they're still pretty good from what I've heard, and I don't think that they break the canon like too much, because they are like, the movies are still canon, so yeah. So continuing the Star Wars note, one of my co-hosts on our podcast mentioned this publication of stories of the Clone Wars, and the Clone Wars is like so close to my heart, and I didn't even know that this was a thing. And she was talking about how this came out last year and it really flew under the radar, partially because it's a YA, but that the stories were really good. And I'm like, I didn't even know. Like, I love the Clone Wars. I will love this, even if it's a YA. And so I bought this, and it has Captain Rex on the cover. So, yeah, I've not started it. The font is pretty big, and so I think I can get through it quickly. Oh, it has Rex, Ahsoka, and Maul on the back. Oh, it's so beautiful. I haven't even really looked at it. It just came in the mail. Oh, he's on the cover too. I love it when they do this, when the cover is actually underneath the dust jacket. Oh, every book should do that. I am excited for this. Yeah, the font is like really big, so I think I can get through it pretty quickly. And then the last Star Wars physical book I got was Light of the Jedi, and this is the first High Republic book. So right now Disney is pushing this whole new era of Star Wars called the High Republic, not to be confused with the Old Republic. So this takes place 200 years before the prequels, and it's like an entirely new setting. The world is at peace, so it's really before the war in Star Wars. And the Jedi are like at their height and are like actual peacekeepers of the galaxy. I am so excited to actually get into this. I'm only on I just started chapter 5. I'm not that far into it, like 30 pages. I just love the Jedi so much. I love learning about them. I love like even learning about their slow corruption over time and how they, lost their way. I've heard nothing but good things about this one. This one is an adult book. Now, Into the Dark by Claudia Gray just came out recently, and that one is also set in the High Republic. It is a YA, so I think the characters are different, but the setting is the same. And that one I've also heard really good things about. I've not bought it yet because my library has the audiobook, so I just put a hold on it. The Star Wars audiobooks, by the way, are fantastic. The production value is so good. They do music and different voices, and if you want to get into the Star Wars novels, but you don't want to like sit down and read a Star Wars novel, I recommend checking out the audiobooks. Star Wars is a big thing, so I think a lot of libraries have Star Wars books. Okay, those were all my physical purchases. Now let's move over to ebooks and audiobooks. I bought a lot of Star Wars ebooks because they tend to go on sale, and also like I'll do the like 4-day shipping on Amazon and get like an extra $1 or something. After so many purchases, like I'll just buy a Star Wars ebook. And so the ones I bought recently were Darth Plagueis, and this is Legends, but I'm so interested in it, and I've heard really, really good things about it. I know that it is one of the more popular Star Wars books, even like in Legends, and I want to learn more about Palpatine, and especially like early Palpatine, and yeah. So again, my library has this ebook, but I'm such a slow reader that I wanted to purchase it myself. And other ones, I got A New Dawn, and this one is about Hera and Kanan. if you watch Rebels. I think this takes place before Rebels and is kind of about how they meet each other. I also bought Bloodline about Leia, and this is the second Leia ebook I have. I have not read the first one, but I heard someone, probably one of my co-hosts, talking about this one very highly, and how she is like dealing. This is after she learns that Darth Vader was her father, and like dealing with that. I don't know. I feel like Luke accepts that pretty quickly, but we don't really get to explore Leia's reaction to it in the movies. So I think that this book deals with that. And those were all the Star Wars things. So other books I bought, Scythe and Thunderhead. I talked about this in my January wrap-up because I already listened to these, but I did buy the audiobooks. They are Audible exclusives. By the way, I have 2 Audible credits right now, and I don't know what to use them on. So should I use one on the toll? Is it worth it? Let me know. The Secret History, I bought the ebook and the audiobook. I know this was written in the 90s, a long time ago. I don't really know much about it, but I think it's like a murder mystery, and I have seen it everywhere lately. I don't know why. I know this author has written a lot of famous books like The Goldfinch. This might be her first book, and I know it's just really popular. I've been seeing everywhere, and so I really wanted to listen to the audiobook, but then after I purchased it, it was another one where I'm like, it might be kind of hard to, I don't know. I was just intimidated, so I'm like, I also want the text in case I get lost. I bought the Haikyu volumes 1, 2, 3. I'm currently on volume 2. I'm again slowly buying them and buying the ebooks as I earn those like credits with shipping. I hardly ever do 2-day shipping anymore because I want the credit to go towards an ebook. But they're so lovely. They're so cute, and again, there are 45 volumes, so it's going to take a long time before I get through them, but I've just been enjoying them so much. I also pre-ordered several other books that haven't come in yet, so I will probably do another haul in like 2 months as those come in because, you know, I like to be able to hold them up. So stay tuned. There are more books coming. So that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you want to catch my future videos. There's probably something about a notification bell. Turn that on if you want, and I will see you next time. Bye. It's just oh no, the focus is on the wrong side. Why do I always do this? Today I'm going, what are we doing today? The Boy Who Steals Houses. I have read her first novel, what is it called? I don't know where it is. Why did I ever think that organizing by color was a good idea? I can't find anything.
2 hours later.
Yes, okay, here it is. I did not tell you anything about what it's about, and I think he is an orphan, maybe, and when people are like away on holiday, he goes and like lives in their houses. I have no idea how accurate that is, but I guess I should tell you more about what it's about, and is able to do I really have to say this again? I've like talked about this book like 3 times. I think it's about 2 twins. Well, obviously there are 2 of them if they're twins. By the way, I know I say this every time, but in the book they're vampires. They're not zombies. It did kind of lead to the zombie genre, even though like they are vampires. And then I also got a copy of The Left Hand of Hair, but I haven't read the genre that much. No. I would love to listen to the audiobook of this because I think it's read by Dave Filoni. Am I making that up? I have seen it everywhere. Oh, I said that weird. And subscribe to be notified of, nope.